Welcome back, football fans, to episode 3 of our daily World Cup 2026 diary. I'm Arthur, your resident keeper of football history, and right across from me, as always, is my brilliant daughter, Nora.
Hey everyone, thanks for being here. Dad, we've got a packed show today. More goals, more drama, and, some really interesting tactical shifts from yesterday's matches.
Absolutely. Let's get straight into it. I remember plenty of host nations tightening up under the pressure of opening week, but the USA came out flying against Paraguay. 4-1, and they looked sharp. Balogun's first half finish, wow, just pure power. Up in Canada, though, it was much tighter against Bosnia, 1-1. Jesse Marsch's side dominated but couldn't grab that first ever win.
Yeah, honestly, in the first 45 minutes, Canada created two little big chances. The expected goals were really low, and Steven Eustachio was right. They needed to be braver. Then Larin comes on, and suddenly the whole game tilts. That switch worked, but when Bosnia needs only one corner to score and Canada does squeeze one goal from a total of 9 corners, it is hard to win. And with the USA, when you score 3 in the first half, the underlying numbers usually love you. They were creating big chances for fun.
There really is a North American buzz around this tournament right now. Although, I have to say, South Korea against Czechia felt like a tactical chess match by comparison. The Czechs looked a bit stiff to me. They never quite found that underdog spark we usually see from them on this stage.
Exactly, and a lot of that was South Korea. They kept jumping passing lanes, winning tackles, forcing turnovers. When you finish with 0 big chances, that's not just an off night. That's the other team taking away your rhythm. Czechia really has to sort out how they move the ball through midfield before the next round. And speaking of midfield structure, let's jump to one of today's games, Morocco against Brazil. I've been looking at Morocco's setup, and they are really interesting. On paper, it's a 4-1-4-1, but it shifts a lot. Their defensive line is higher than people expect, and a lot of their chance creation starts with those wingbacks, drifting inside into the half spaces.
A 4-1-4-1 that pushes up against Brazil, now that is living dangerously. But, look, there's real steel in this Moroccan side. They remind me of those hard-working teams from the 90s, only now they've got that extra technical polish. If those wingbacks go too high, though, Brazil will see acres of space, and that is the last thing you want. And talking about Brazil always brings me back to one of the true greats, Ronaldo Nazário, R9. Just hearing the name takes me right back. I can still picture the 2002 final in Yokohama. The haircut got all the headlines, sure, but his movement was extraordinary. He seemed to glide into the exact space the game was about to open up. Some players read a match. He felt it.
Totally, and honestly, he'd be a dream for analysts today. If we had his tracking data from 2002, the numbers would be ridiculous: sprint bursts, shot volume, shot quality, all of it. That's what I love about players like that. The eye test and the data would both be saying the exact same thing. But off the pitch, the internet has been having some fun too. Did you see this? England's World Cup boots were reportedly stolen before their first training session in Kansas City. Social media has been making jokes ever since. And my feed is full of those AI-edited highlight clips where missed chances get turned into little comedy reels. The internet moves fast.
Stolen boots, honestly. That is wild. Back in my day, players kept an eye on their boots like treasure. And while we're on the subject, I have to say, the American broadcast yesterday really tested my patience. Full-screen ads during hydration breaks? Ah, come on. It pulls you right out of the match. A World Cup game needs room to breathe.
Yeah, fair. But the new Adidas Try-On ball shows how much the game has changed too. It's loaded with sensors for the semi-automated offside system. This 48-team tournament is giving us so much live data to work with. I just wish the coverage gave the football a little more space.
Fair enough. So, looking ahead to today, we've got Qatar against Switzerland, Haiti against Scotland, and I really hope the Scots can finally shake off a few old ghosts and get through that group stage. Then, Australia face Turkey, and of course the big one, Brazil against Morocco.
The prediction models still like Brazil to go deep, but Morocco's outlook changes a lot if they get something today. Even a draw bumps their chance of winning the group by around 40%, so yeah, that's the one I'll be tracking closely.
and I'll be watching it for the pure romance of it. Brazil against Morocco, that's our game. We're watching that one together, Nora. I'll make the tea, and you can bring the data.
Deal. That is it for episode 3 of our World Cup 2026 diary. Thanks so much for joining us for the tactics and the trip down memory lane.
Always a pleasure. Enjoy the matches today, everyone, and join us tomorrow when we break down Brazil's performance and see whether Scotland can finally find a little World Cup magic. Until then, goodbye.